Mia.
It's upside down. My drill number is G5 will be my date to prom? Of course I will!
I'm Mia.
And I'm also Mia.
And welcome to this week's episode of the Warrior Weekly. On Thursday, April 17th, Maine West hosted a rock show in the Lower Commons. Audience members enjoyed 20 songs ranging from the 1950s all the way up to the current. Songs featured were Jailhouse Rock, Crazy Train, I Love Rock and Roll, and more. Students from the guitar classes had the chance to show off their talents, and the show also featured guest vocalists and drummers.
From April 9th to 11th, our FCCLA students traveled to Springfield and competed in state for apparel construction and preschool lesson. 8 students received gold and 2 students received silver awards. Congratulations, everyone.
And now to May for your sports update.
On Thursday, April 10, 2025, the Maine West Varsity Girls Water Polo team won their game against Maine East High School by a score of 18-7. On Friday, April 11, 2025, the Maine West Varsity Girls Soccer team won their match against Proviso West High School by a score of 7-1. On Saturday, April 12, 2025, the Maine West Varsity Girls Softball team won their game against Schaumburg High School by a score of 6-2. On Monday, April 14, 2025, the Maine West Varsity Boys Water Polo team won their game against Jones High School by a score of 15-4. Also on Monday, the Maine West Varsity Boys Baseball team won their game against Niles West High School by a score of 11-8. And that's all for this week's sports update. And now for a check-in with our boys volleyball team.
This Saturday, I checked in with the boys volleyball team and asked about the season so far, changes, and expectations.
It's been, I've been on varsity for 3 years. It's one of the best starts I've ever had. And I feel like this team is really actually like something different, going through 2-0 in conference right now, beating the top 2 teams in it. I wouldn't say there haven't been any changes in this team, but we have lots of people on our roster in case anyone gets injured or we need some fresh new legs, which has come in clutch a lot at tournaments especially. This season has been one of the highest expectations, I believe. We've been having to do lots of conditioning, almost perfect serve receive. OB has some high expectations for us, which has been working out good though.
I feel like we're more connected as a family. OB's been expecting the best from us since on paper we should be really good, but that doesn't mean that he sets the bar low, so he still expects way more from us. I think the team this year is doing really well at executing and everything like that. Our games this year, they've been going really well. We've had a few downs, but we end up on top most of the time, so it's pretty nice.
The next home game for the boys is Thursday, May 1st at 6 p.m. This is Gino Chavez with WMTH Sports.
The spring play, A Monster Calls, premieres this weekend. To tell you more, here's Alex.
On April 24th to the 26th, the Maine West Drama Department will run their new spring play, A Monster Calls, which tells the story of a young boy who faces nightmares of a tree outside turning into a monster that tells him stories, which forces him to face the painful truth of his mother's illness.
You can expect a lot more different stuff than you'd see in normal theater. It's a lot more interpretive and unique, as there's a lot of symbolism with our movements that we do in it.
For a play, there's a lot of actual lifts and weird parts where the ensemble comes together to make it look as one big group and one big clump to form this giant entity that's supposed to represent Connor's fears. So there's a lot of teamwork, a lot of light work, a lot of sound work that I'd say for a play there is definitely a lot more technical components than normal plays.
It's definitely helped me grow as an actor, as it's kind of a role that I've never played before. So it's definitely helped with my own personal development in that field.
A lot of plays that we've done have been about fictional stories or fictional, some sort of out-of-life story that's a little bit far-fetched. This one is a little bit more personal, not just to me, but also to some other people in the cast. And so it definitely hits close to home and can help, and it could be a really cathartic moment for a lot of people in the audience.
A Monster Calls will premiere this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Maine West Auditorium, with tickets selling at $7 for students and $12 for adults. This is Alex DeFazio with WMTH News.
Your Warrior Weekly staff is on a mission to find the best restaurants in the Des Plaines community. In this week's episode of Fantastic Feasts and Where to Find Them, check out one of our recommendations.
Hello everyone and welcome to Fantastic Feasts and Where to Find Them. I'm your host Casper and today we're at Kebola in Des Plaines, Illinois. This restaurant has been specializing in authentic Cuban cuisine since February of 2024 with a festive and homey setting. The Sandwich Cubano, or Cuban sandwich consisting of low-roasted pork, sliced ham, mayo, mustard, pickles, and Swiss cheese is a huge hit here and is rich with history, starting to make its appearance in the 19th century. And patrons love the Cubano sandwich.
It's delicious. It's probably as good as the food I've had in Miami.
I keep coming back for the food. It's fabulous.
Hello, now we are back in the kitchen and I'm here with one of the owners, Marco. So, he's gonna show us how to make a Cuban sandwich. What exactly goes into it?
This is the bread and these are the ingredients that we have in here for the Cubano. We're gonna put butter. This is a special butter that we're preparing here with some garlic. On the part of the top, we put the mayo on it. After the mayo, we put a little bit of mustard, then the pickles. On the bottom top, we put first the cheese. We use Swiss cheese, hams, and that one is our roasted pork.
That looks so good.
Yeah. Butter into the grill. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip over so we can see the Swiss cheese is melting.
Yep.
This is one of our recipe of the house. This is called a mojo. Mojo is a marinade that we use. It's based off garlic, seasoning, and oils. So we put a little bit into the sandwich. So after that, we're gonna put into the panini press and leave it there for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay.
So after that, so you can see the bread is crispy. So that's how it has to be. According to the people, the Cuban sandwich cut has to be like on this angle. And this is the Cuban.
That looks marvelous. We're back from the kitchen now, here trying the Cuban sandwich in a very nicely decorated dining area. And I'm gonna go ahead and try it. This first bite is very crunchy. I haven't got to the middle, to the good part here where all the meat is. The meat's very good. It reminds me kind of like literally like in a pulled pork sandwich. It's so warm on the inside. Everything about this is just awesome. The meat's nice and fresh, super warm. I recommend for anyone to come here. If you've never had a Cuban sandwich, you gotta come right away because you are missing out. Thank you for watching this episode of Fantastic Feasts and Where to Find Them. Make sure to visit Kebola at 1940 East Toohey Avenue in Des Plaines, Illinois to try their Cuban sandwich and other tasty entrees and desserts.
And now to this week's episode of The Main Minute, featuring your school announcements in a minute or less.
Welcome to The Main Minute. Student Voice Committee meets every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. Esports Club and Tech Crew meet today after school. Computer Science Club, Current Events Club, and Video Game Club meet this Friday after school. The Art Club is having a meeting after school at 3:30. Come watch the spring play A Monster Calls from the 24th to the 26th at 7 p.m. The next National English Honor Society meeting will be held this Friday, April 25th at 7:40 in the back of the LRC. This is important because they will be electing officers for the 25 to the 26 school year. ASL Club and Tech Crew meet after school on the 29th, and Key Club is having a stadium cleanup at 8:30 p.m. And now to a check-in with videos from the Class of 2026 Council and their cheer team for important announcements. See you next time.
From the field to the sidelines.
I played football.
I played football.
I played football.
Basketball.
Baseball.
Cross country, track, and golf.
And then I ran track.
Many male cheerleaders find the transition from throwing defenders down to throwing girls up fairly seamless.
Cheerleading's all about speed and explosion, which translates from other sports because that's how you get off the line in football. That's how you jump in basketball.
Running back Jacob Clark helped lead the Bentonville Tigers to the semifinals in football this season. 2 weeks after they were knocked out by Fayetteville, Clark was helping the Tigers win state in cheerleading.
W-E-S-T, let's go West! Good
W-E-S-T. Let's go!
And for those who've been both on the gridiron and next to it, they say the task on the sidelines may be more nerve-wracking.
I get more nervous with cheer than I ever do with football. Cheer's just like, you go out there and I mean, it's two people, it's not just you. So you're like, you have to rely on the other person. You practice it, but I mean, anything little can go wrong. In football, like if something little goes wrong, it's not like a hard correction, but if something little goes wrong, like the stump's gonna fall, so you have to be perfect.
All right, so this is a sport where a lot of people, when I tell them, hey, we're working with some cheerleaders or we're gonna be training cheerleaders, they'll be like, what? Really? You're gonna be training cheerleaders? And the wild part to me is that it's really easy to realize how athletic cheerleading is. It's really easy to watch cheerleaders perform and do their drills, do their techniques, do their exercises, and recognize there's a lot of different facets that go into being a peak cheerleader. And
Hey Juniors! Save the date, Saturday, May 3rd.
There will be a formal attire, dinner, music, and photos.
The time will be 6:30 to 8:30.
Inspect gym.
Tickets will be on sale next week in the bookstore for $25. The last date you can pay is April 25th.
Warrior Weekly loves to highlight musicians in our community. To close our show, check out a highlight from our spring choir concert. Mia, I also have something to ask you.
What is it? Hey baby, I want to know if you'll be my girl at prom. Of course I will. I'm Mia Cardoso.
And I'm Mia Del Valle.
And that's it for this week's episode of the Warrior Weekly.